We were all cherry-cheeked anime fans at some point. Sadly, that time usually ends with a bang. It's time for bad anime shows to get what they finally deserve. No matter how many episodes or how bad it is, I'll prevail and beat them all. It's time for Undroppable. Man, anyone else get the itch just to play a shooter like COD or Battlefield? Well, I know I do. And grenades and bombs in those games are the best grief weapons around. So what if they made a game that's pretty much like COD, but instead of the usual weapons and sidearms, we just have bombs of varying types? I speak of course of the hit game from the anime of the same name. It's time to blow people up in Btooom, blasting its way onto screens in the summer of 2012 by Studio Madhouse, and is an adaptation of Junya Inoue's manga, which started publishing in 2009 and is still being released currently. The manga even making its way over to English countries by the lovely people at Yen Press, with even the anime following suit by being released by MVM, Sentai Filmworks and Hanabi for England, America and Australia respectively. So let's blow some stuff up. After I put this here so I don't get fragged from behind. Our hero, for a lack of a better word, is Sakamoto Ryota, an elite 4 out of 5 star player of Btooom, ranking as number 10 in the world. But what hero doesn't have some flaws to fill out their character sheet? Well, Ryota is anything but a nice guy at the start, having been a NEET with dreams of working for Tyrannos Japan, the makers of Btooom, but after being left on hold for 2 years, his mother is sick of him doing nothing, and so wants to get him a job. Any job, and so applies him to loads, even asking relatives to help him out, but Ryota refuses and constantly has shouting matches with his mother on the subject, becoming almost violent on the matter. Even his stepfather he verbally abuses, a very good depiction of someone with the background they gave him, as he was starved for attention as a child when he was left alone by both his parents. So when his parents did finally split up, he felt even more like an island, and so began making others suffer as he has. So when a letter goes around asking people if they want anyone they'd like to disappear, and receive money for it, of course Ryota's mother nominates Ryota without a second thought, even later on going to regret her decision as well as feeling that she has ruined her new husband's life. Feeling the only way she can atone for both of these sins, of both abandoning her son and hurting her love, she attempts to kill herself, only to be found by her husband in a nick of time, and thus she tells him what she's done. Those that people do want to get rid of are rounded up by the MIB, and sent off to an island in the Pacific to play Btooom for real, with all the bombs from the game recreated for them to murder each other with. These range from the simple crackers that explode on hit, and timer bombs, all the way to the implosion and homing types. It is quite well done that most of the characters we all see all believe they don't belong there, and some like Himiko are just victims of bad circumstances in how they ended up being nominated, but others do have more of a reason, such as Kira, who murdered and raped 3 women, as well as his father that abuses him, both of which actually deserve to be there, or at least have more of a reason to be forced to play the game. But even those that are guilty still believe they are innocent, like Ryota, who even when thinking back on it, still passes over all the horrible things he did to his mother, until later when it finally hits him that she sent him there. And Junya has done this very well as Madhouse for adapting it, at showing us just how selfish and deceitful some people are, shown in how they use the bold colours and vivid red of the blood, as well as keeping the style of the characters close to the original. And the way they use the face shots for the most part is really good, as they don't have to use dialogue, but instead can show us in one expression change the moment things dawn on the characters, as well as the fear some exhibit towards others. I love this about this show, using more of a visual means like shows should, since they are a moving visual medium, so they don't need unneeded lines of exposition, when a simple change of expression or body movement can say it just as loud and fit better. Also the way Tyra is used is very good, as while not a nice guy, he is aware of his shortcomings, as why he would be sent to the island before the rest of them. We also get to see how Ryota constantly leaves him behind when he's in need of help, as well as the pain from both the lizard bite to his leg and the loss of his fingers, both of which have driven him to the point of madness, as he begins to see his wife and child telling him what he should do. So we do get a sense of how Tyra is not an evil person, just scared and is looking for any way he can to get out, hence why he never killed anyone, but instead got chips from other people's kills. And in the end he realises what he was about to do, as Ryota still believed in him, and so takes his own life. In fact, the growth of both Himiko and Ryota is very visible,
as Himiko is less afraid of men, even falling in love with Ryota again, just like she did in the game. Likewise, Ryota has started to stop hating and despising people, and started to believe in people, after what the trials of the island has put them through. The other people are all, for the most part, just guys to die, like Yoshiaki from the start. Yeah, the guy Ryota makes mincemeat out of did actually have a name, and was also high as hell on pills, which we can see shown in his eyes. But that could just be lack of sleep, as my eyes do that a lot. Some characters are given a bit more, such as Kira and Masashi, with Kira being left to wander around hungry for blood, and Masashi is a very interesting person, as he is someone with actual combat experience, and so relied less on his bombs for the most part, instead choosing to use his combat knife, till his twisted habit of capture and torture proved his downfall, turning him into the amazing melting man. So for the most part, the characters are well done. Even the canon fodder at least are used in slightly memorable ways, even if they get no names. We also get to see the employees of Tyrannos, and their goal for this death game, which is very interesting, as they are going to CG over the footage, so that they can use it as a streaming of a different game, rather than the truth that these people are actually killing each other. A nice twist on both the gaming and streaming, which has become very prevalent in nowadays. But sadly, all this falls short on any real conclusion, as we do get people rushing to the island for emergency maintenance, but we never know what of. We also see the rest of the big players all planning their next moves, with the last shot being Ryota and Himiko holding hands sleeping on a couch. A nice picturesque end shot, but maybe if they left out the maintenance team heading to the island, I'd like the end more, as then it becomes more that they are still there, fighting to live for each other, but at least it didn't end with a happy-go-lucky ending. So we get a big bang at the start that fizzes slowly towards the end. And hey, you never know, they may actually make some more someday, considering how much longer the manga goes after the part the anime ends at. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next Undroppable.